I mean, normally I'm quite professional. So बोलना नहीं चाहिए पर mood खराब हो गया यार आज. No. Be professional. Hello and welcome to Cricket Buzz Live, a neutral cricket forum. I am Gaurav Kapoor. I have with me Mr. Ajay Jadeja and Mr. Zahir Khan, who will agree with me कि mood थोड़ा तो खराब हो गया. चलो कोई बात नहीं. We are human after all.
बिल्कुल.
We are humans.
नेचुरल है और आदत नहीं है ना.
Yes, we are humans. We are not used to our team, Indian team, losing like this.
सर, इंडियन टीम लास्ट कब आ रही है? मुझे तो याद भी नहीं आता.
Yeah.
कि और खासकर होम सीरीज में.
2015, sir. 2015.
2015 तो मेरी याददाश्त जरा ज्यादा खराब हो गई है. 3 साल भी याद नहीं है. देखो.
4 years, sir. It's 2019.
We played that graphics beginning of the match today.
अच्छा मतलब 2 साल नहीं, मतलब 2 घंटे की याददाश्त चली गई है.
That's because no, you remember that. We only remember things when they have diagrams on them. It had no diagram on it.
I remember the graphics and I remember you jumping the gun.
Jumping? Oh, that's right. I did jump the gun. I'll tell you what exactly I jumped the gun on, which was about the toss. Today, of course, Australia won the toss. But unlike the previous 4 games that went against the toss, today has gone with the toss. Of course, there are minor formalities like batting and bowling that have to be done after the toss. Aaron Finch decided to bat first and it worked out well, especially Usman Khawaja getting yet another big score, getting 100, and Australia getting to 272. On this kind of surface, though, just way too many for India to get. And India all out for 237, falling short by 35 runs. Rohit Sharma and then Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Yes, you may find it slightly shocking, but it was Bhuvneshwar Kumar who was the second highest scorer for India. Okay, explain that.
Well, we actually were talking about this mid innings,
yeah,
isn't it? That even though there was a comeback from the Indian bowling attack,
yes,
but that comeback was deceptive on this track.
Yeah,
272 was always going to be a tough ask. You had to really play very good cricket and to win this match.
Yeah.
And we were talking about importance of those wickets in hand. We were talking about wickets can go in cluster here. It's not going to be easy for the new batsman to just walk in and start scoring runs. So all those factors which were involved, we were able to witness that, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually saw all of that. But there was something. What did Bhuvi and Kedar do right that a lot of other batsmen couldn't get, Ajay?
I think the game was gone at that time. I mean, if you ask me, the game we'd lost the game when you lost. Rohit probably was the last one that could have taken the side through. Actually, you were only in the game when Rohit and Virat partnership was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking at the wicket, looking at the total and what has happened in the last few games, you weren't going to be in that game. At that stage, what happens is generally, we talked about this in the over number 35 as well, that opposition also takes the paddle off. You have no pressure left. All you're doing is playing the ball at its merit because you're not looking at the scoreboard. You're not looking at the run rate. As soon as you get close again, that's when you got to start thinking and try and do things or force the issue. On a wicket like this, it's not a wicket that's going to hurt you or harm you in the sense that it's going to keep so low that it's going to go under your bat when you defend or it's going to take off when you're defending. It's a wicket where you're trying to force the issue. It just stops a bit, does a little bit. So at that, just to answer that particular question of yours, what did Kedar and Bhuvneshwar do right? The others didn't. That they, in that middle of that partnership, weren't trying to force the issue. They were just taking what they were getting.
Yeah.
And bowling was not that kind that they would run through you at that stage. So it looks like that. And the numbers look better. In fact, at the end, it only looks we lost by 35 runs.
It was a great partnership, though. I mean, the two of them, they got it really close. It was a 90-run partnership that they had. But I know what you're saying. You're saying that they didn't have to force the pace, and but the thing is that the pace was never required. I mean, when you need 5.5 and over from the get-go. Could the other batsmen also have done what these guys did? Because there was never really any asking rate pressure.
But you were bowled out the way I see it. I mean, Shikhar Dhawan was caught behind at the start, and once Virat went, you don't see that generally. You rarely see Virat trying to muscle something, and that too that early in the innings. If anybody who can get to watch that game, he's trying to muscle it, losing his shape, he gets that edge. And then Rishabh Pant, who walks in at 4 trying to defend, go straight to slip.
Yeah.
You know,
he should not be defending.
No.
He should only be attacking.
No. I mean, I won't say that, but I mean, you get beaten by bowlers on a wicket like this. You were, but the credit to Australians is that they had a slip in there because this man is an attacking player. So they were always thinking wickets.
Yeah.
And once you got that, and then Vijay Shankar got one nice short ball, he pulled it for 6, and then he tried to pull one again, and that didn't probably bounce as much. Top edged it. So when you're 4 down at that stage, then there's very little that is left. And then somehow Rohit went into a shell, which is also something that you don't see usually. So, and then it was 3 times? I mean, he was dropped a couple of times. And so I think you were bowled out. I mean, the scorecard also says you were bowled out, but you were bowled out way before this actually ended.
Yeah.
This was a drag, and the mood that has gone bad is because that we had to sit and wait for this thing to go down.
For the eventual end
to come.
But if you also look at the whole series, I think the Australian bowlers have done very well. You know, Pat Cummins has taken how many? 14 wickets.
14,
you have Zampa, who has been on the expensive side, but has been picking up wickets consistently. I think he's taken about 11 wickets in the series so far, and Richardson.
Yeah.
You know, Richardson also have contributed. I think he's played how many? 3 games, and he's taken 8 wickets.
Look, you're saying he's been expensive, but I mean, he's still going it under a run a ball, and you'll take that. You'll take 11 wickets for under a run a ball, won't you, in 5 games?
So you have 3 bowlers.
Yeah.
In the series, creating this kind of impact. So even though you might say, okay, you know, Khawaja has been among the runs, now Finch is back in form, but I think the real winner has been the Australia's bowling attack, who has been consistently putting pressure on this Indian batting lineup.
Yeah.
They've been winning situations and phases of matches. That's something which has been happening. We've seen consistently. And also, they've been ticking that first box which we always talk about, isn't it? With the new ball, setting the tone of the match, setting the tone of the innings, taking that wicket. You know, so that's something which Australian team will take a lot of confidence from going forward from here. And suddenly all around the world now we are seeing the teams who've not been consistent with their performances have been creating those upsets as well. With the upset which we're talking about is
Sri Lanka, South Africa,
West Indies also coming back.
England doing a 2-all in the one-day series. So there's been a few, but just the pressure that Zach is talking about. You get the wickets, and then when you get the wickets, the early wickets, you end up putting pressure with the dot balls. And today was just spectacular. I mean, look at the Aussie bowling card, and you see the kind of dot balls, especially when you see Lyon and Zampa there with, you know, between them 64 dot balls. So they bowled almost 11 overs of dot balls between themselves. And Cummins and Richardson haven't done too badly as well. So there was just, what do you attribute this to? It's just, India today was just not being able to get the singles, Ajay. They were just not being able to rotate the strike.
Because this is not a wicket that you can actually get, you know, rotate strike. We talked about this earlier. It's a pitch that stops, but the ground is so small. So, you know, you see a lot of sixes, even in that partnership with Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Kedar Jadhav. There were a few sixes that you saw, but you didn't see easy singles. So on a surface like this, it's not going to be many singles. It's going to be a lot of dot balls. And that is what puts pressure on a batsman to try and do something different.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to, and if you're in commanding position, it never looked bad, because when Khawaja and Hanscom were batting at the start of that innings, it didn't look that there was any trouble. Then when the partnership happened again with Kohli and Rohit Sharma, they looked comfortable as well. So if you are ready to wait or not try and rush it, try and push the envelope, it wasn't that kind of a wicket. It wasn't that bad a wicket. But it wasn't a wicket that where you were going to get many singles, even when you were set. You had to wait for that bad ball. And that bad ball gives you an opportunity to get 4 and 6, being a small ground. Had this been a bigger ground, this total probably would have been 220, 200, 210 versus 180.
Yeah.
So I think that couple of things, the ground and the wicket.
So the thing is, now Australia comes into the series, they lose the first 2 games. Then they win 3 on the trot. A lot of players showing form, whether it's batting or whether it's bowling. Suddenly the Australian team is going, oh, okay, hang on, we'll take this in terms of individual form, and we'll take this in terms of morale and temperament and just confidence. There's a lot of boxes ticked for Australia in this series, hasn't it, Zaid?
There's no doubt about it. You know, you've been talking about leading up of the series. and a series in Australia. So they've lost at home.
Yeah.
The whole year has been a tough year for Australian cricket. So looking at that, from this win, they'll take a lot of confidence, because most of the critics, most of the media also have been writing them off.
Yes.
But now somehow, you can see you add Mitchell Starc to this bowling lineup. It's only going to get strengthened from here.
True.
So that's something which we will see in the World Cup as well. So I think from here, playing against Pakistan a series, their morale will definitely be high. Just picking up at the right time, because Australia is a team with the history of what they've achieved in international cricket. You can't write them off in World Cup, in a tournament like World Cup.
Yeah, and suddenly they would probably feel that I wish we didn't have the Pakistan series, because we're all set now. Look, because when you get to the top, what happens? It can only go bad, because now you've beaten the world's best side. You've beaten India at home. And if you lose now even one game in Pakistan, you think, oh, we're missing out on something. From the Australian point of view, it would be perfect.
But then from the Indian point of view, it's horrible that this is the last
No, from
series.
Indian point of view, I don't think.
It's the exact opposite of that, isn't it?
In Indian point of view, there's 42 days. Oh, how many days before the next World Cup?
Oh, 2.5 months.
So, in 2.5 months in Indian cricket, I keep saying this, don't worry about that far. It's about the next few days at the most. So, from Indian point of view, I mean,